It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports. And we'll be watching Terry McLaurin on the doorstep of another milestone in a great season, approaching 1,200 yards. It's the Commanders and the 49ers coming up next.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Washington Commanders and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, the drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 18 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown.
And when you put the ball in the end zone 13 times on the season, one thing is apparent. You didn't do it all on your own. Offensive line is creating some nice space for you, and you're probably getting some good blocks downfield from your wide receivers.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down. It was just third down and short, but he bit off a little extra.
I would say way more than he could chew, but he chewed up all that yardage in a big way. And that, to me, that was a combination of offensive line, stacked defense, and they handled it. Okay, they got the leverage, they got the blocking angles, and opened up a nice crease. And once you get past that first wave, there's room to roam.
And that's just the third play from scrimmage. They wanted to avoid that 3 and out. They did. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Now, this defense for the Commanders, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. On 4th down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowski to punt the football. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His 3rd NFL team, Carson Wentz.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. The numbers in last week's ball game for Robinson, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
From the 25 on second down, Wentz, and the Niners get there and bring him down. Javon Kinlaw busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Wentz and the Commanders staring down a 3rd and long now after that sack. They'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides through a hole. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
First down, here's Mitchell. And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now an option play on 2nd down. And he is going to lose yardage here. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. And Lance now to throw. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Lance now on 1st down. And he's got this. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10. Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's puttered out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. They run the jet sweep. Dotson. Deshaun Gibson there on the tackle. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Wentz going to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. On 2nd and 9, Wentz. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. 3rd down. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. Just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And Lance again going to keep it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he will slide down with a good gain. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Oh, he shifts past him. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Throwing is Wentz. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. midfield. Here's Wentz. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 37. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down. Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point.
Robinson gets the toss on the right side. Down at the 35. It'll be second down.
Play action. Now Wentz. And this is caught inside the 5. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline. And that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback. And he put it right where it needed to be.
No score after one on EA Sports.
Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. 5 yards from the end zone, first and goal. They'll run with Robinson.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. The line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. They'll run. Here's Janovich, the fullback. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Wentz now on third and goal. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Carson Wentz. A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Commanders post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter.
Well, that's what you want to see from your quarterback when it's a goal line situation. A guy who's not afraid to tuck the ball, give his body up, and get into the end zone. That ought to inspire his entire team.
Joey Sly on for the extra point. And the kick is good, and the Commanders out to a 7-0 lead.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Another run with Mitchell.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Off of play action, here's Lance.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Chase Young,
it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
And Lance again going to keep it.
And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Now Lance.
He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Mitch Wishnowsky now on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Wentz bringing the Commanders up for 1st and 10.
At their own 23.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Wentz.
Over the middle, brought in by Dotson.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Robinson on a give right side.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. From the 41, Wentz. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2.
Able to connect with Dotson. And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 43. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Dre Greenlaw getting home on that one.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Wentz. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin.
He'll get it inside the 20.
Touchdown! Terry McLaurin, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible. Slide for the PAT.
And it's good to make it 14-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Well, the 49ers settling in for their next drive.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. Here's Lance.
And that is incomplete. Here's Mitch Wishnowski now. Taking it about the 36. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now Wentz. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
That's Azeez Al-Shaair getting through for the sack that time. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Drive begins with a carry by Davis-Price.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It was Daron Payne who got in there to make the play.
Yeah, another negative play and early down situation. This one will start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Here's Lance to throw it.
And that's off the mark, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On 3rd and long, it's Lance.
Dancing to his left.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here comes the 49ers punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. A beautiful fake. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. That's out to the flat for Gibson.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz, open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
On the counter, this is Robinson.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
13 yards there and a Washington first.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward.
And the 49ers are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7.
And he is going to be stopped up at the line of scrimmage. And we'll have a stoppage as well as we have reached the 2-minute warning.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
And Lance going to throw.
Man open, that's Ray McCloud.
And he is going to have a Niners 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Lance looking to throw it.
Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Lance.
Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Throwing now is Lance.
And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
And Lance now to throw.
And he finds Tyler Kroft. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2.
Gets it out wide to Davis Price. And he is going to have a 49ers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And the grab by Kroft. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete.
And the 49ers are going to be set up with a first and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches.
Now a timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Tyler Kroft as the first half is winding down.
And the Niners go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. Some great games coming up on Sunday, highlighted by a 1 o'clock matchup in Miami. A good test for the Dolphins as they'll take on the always tough Green Bay Packers. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. And then finally, time to unwind on Monday night. It'll be the Chargers and Colts from Indianapolis at 8:15 Eastern Time sharp. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Niners, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Commanders up first on offense as we begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Wentz's throw taken in by Samuel.
It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And the Commanders first down.
They'll run this one right with Robinson.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. From the 39, Wentz. That's going to be caught by Samuel.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Well, that's one of the drawbacks of running the RPO. If those linemen go into run block mode, you can't throw it if they're more than a yard downfield. Wentz going to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. To throw is Wentz. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Yards on the punt, just 2 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Cameron Curl. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick 6.
Hey, that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it's now 21-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Davis Price on 1st and 10.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. They'll set up the screen for Davis Price.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
To throw, it's Lance. That's caught. He finds Danny Gray. And he's going to have a Niners first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Now Lance.
Eluding the pressure right.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
2nd down, here's Davis Price.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third.
Shotgun now for Lance. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Chase Young
Able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, the next-gen stat's going to illustrate just how quickly a quarterback has to process everything as he was on the ground in under 3 seconds, 2.9 to be precise. Wentz bringing the Commanders up for 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here's Gibson to start the drive.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Second down and a run by Robinson.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down. 49 yards on the ground for him so far.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Wentz. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
25 yards there on the catch and run.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Throwing on first is Wentz.
This one left side caught by Gibson.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the 36, Wentz. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nick Bosa in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down.
But somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. And thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So now on comes the field goal unit. And wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one for 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one winds up no good.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Working from the gun, Lance.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
And Lance again going to keep it. And the ball is knocked out. And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
He was having success there holding on to it on the option, but ultimately problems downfield, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, and this is a tough one because you know you'd prefer to have your quarterback either heading to the sidelines or getting down at the end of the play. But you've got an aggressive one. He's fighting for extra yardage, and he gets stripped there. You don't need him to be a hero in that situation. You want your quarterback taking care of himself.
Wentz bringing the Commanders out for 1st and 10.
At the 34.
He'll start with a give to Robinson. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Wentz now to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on him.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long.
Now Wentz. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
Right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You trail them by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football, making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard at doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try and play free and natural.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Running left, Davis Price.
No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
A give left side to Robinson. Down to about the 37. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Wentz. Over the middle, complete. That's Thomas.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
They're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Washington on 3rd down.
They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Able to connect with Dotson. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
Shifts by him. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
63 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
And the Commanders are going to be set up with a first and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Robinson is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may have been turned into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Sly on for the extra point.
He knocks it through. It's 28-7. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And the rookie, Brian Robinson, finished things off with a touchdown run. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
A good gain on first, has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Here's Lance to throw it.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out.
From the gun, it's Lance.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. A.J. Boye with a pick.
And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, this defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick 6.
And how about the way they played this entire game? Not only they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick 6s, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
Now Joey Sly for the point after.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Taken in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Lance going back to the air after the pick six. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Throwing is Lance on 3rd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A.J. Boye with a pick.
Lance's pass intercepted by the Commanders.
Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
So out comes Washington's offense to take over. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. So after the INT, here's Wentz. This a quick slant, and he's got Terry McLaurin. And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Wentz. Flushed out right. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. Wentz to the sideline on 4th down. Joey Sly is out there now for the Washington field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. This will be caught inside the 10. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Davis Price will score. Touchdown, 49ers. Gold with the extra point, and the lead is down to 24. Just a 4-play drive that time. This was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Washington,
it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they will try to get back in the swing of